Hi all, welcome to this video where I will be showing you step by step how to move to the UK for work. Now, if you watched my previous video that I released, I spoke about everything you need to know to move from Ghana to the UK. And I spoke about the various ways you can move to the UK legally, which was family, work, or study. All right, so in this video, I'm going to be solely focusing on how to move from Africa to the UK solely for work. All right, solely for work. Now, one thing I want you to know is I want you to know that this video is going to be very, very detailed. So I want you to listen very carefully, and I want you to get a notebook and pen as well, because there's going to be a lot of notes that you're going to have to write down. All the knowledge I have is through thorough experience and thorough research. All right, so let's just get started. All right. Welcome to Akosia UK, helping you to navigate in the UK as a newbie. I hope you enjoy this channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Right? So, how do you actually find a job in the UK? Now, the very first thing you need to actually find a job in the UK is to have a resume, also known as a CV, and a cover letter. So you should have all of this prepared before you even look for a job in the UK. You shouldn't just look for jobs without a CV or a resume and a cover letter, because all the jobs in the UK, majority of them, if not all of them, as an employability trainer myself, if not all of them are going to ask you to attach your resume before you can even submit the application for the job. All right. So the very first thing that you should have right now, or you should be preparing to have, is a resume or a CV. Okay, so you should have all of these prepared. You should also have a cover letter as well, because some companies, some organizations in the UK also ask for that. So what is a CV and what is a resume? Some people may not know what it is. Now, a CV is also known as a resume, and this is basically a 1 to 2 page document that summarizes who you are from a professional viewpoint. All right, it's a sheet of paper, 2 pieces of paper that highlights your work experience, your educational background, your skills, and why you believe you are the best person for the specific job that you are actually applying for. Now, I don't want you to panic if you do not know how to write a CV or a resume or even a cover letter. Now, a cover letter is basically a letter, a one-page letter, convincing the potential employer or company to hire you, and further emphasizing your skills and your knowledge for the job that you are applying for. Now, do not panic if you do not have a resume, a CV, or a cover letter. I just want you to let me know in the comment sections below if you do not have a CV, resume, or cover letter. But what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to attach a free CV and resume and cover letter template for you in the description section below, so that you can get started as soon as possible. All right. Now, the next thing that you need to do and you need to know before you even look for work in the UK is to check your qualifications. Okay. So check your qualifications on the UK ENIC website, UK ENIC website. It used to be known as the NARIC, okay, NARIC, but they have changed their name to UK ENIC because the UK is no longer in the EU. They have left the EU. Now, what NARIC stood for is it stood for National Academic Recognition Information Centre. All right, but now it's known as the UK ENIC. And what the UK ENIC do is they evaluate international qualifications and skills. All right, so if you have gone to school, where you are, if you have gone to high school, if you have gone to university, what the UK ENIC do is that they will evaluate your qualifications, and they will evaluate whether it is at the same standard as the UK qualification. So, for example, you might have taken an accountancy degree where you are, okay? And what the UK ENIC will do is that they're going to evaluate whether your accounting degree is the same standard as if somebody as somebody who has taken an accounting degree in the UK. So they basically compare the two qualifications. So basically what they do is they compare your qualifications to the UK standard. All right. And they see whether it's to the UK standard. And this is really, really important. Okay, because before you can even look for a job or apply for a visa, you have to make sure that you are meeting the basic and the mandatory entry or eligibility requirements of that job and of that visa. Now, the visa that I'm going to focus a lot on is the skilled worker visa, because that is the most common visa that people use when they are moving from Africa to the UK. Okay, especially if you're looking specifically to come to the UK for work, they normally tend to go for the skilled worker visas. I'm going to be focusing on that throughout this video. All right, so it's very, very important that you check with the UK ENIC whether your qualifications from school, from college, from university are at a UK standard. And you can do this by visiting the UK ENIC website, which is enic.org.uk. And I will take you through this at the end of this video. All right, so you can visit their website, and what you have to do is you have to look at the website and look for something called a statement of comparability. So when you know that you're looking for work, go straight to the UK ENIC website and go and use their service for a statement of comparability. Okay, or you can call them up. But what they are likely to do is they're likely to tell you to order for a statement of comparability. And the statement comparability, what that will involve you doing is it will involve you basically sending all your qualifications, I think photocopies most of the times, photocopies to them, and then they will make the assessment, they will evaluate everything, and then they will also give you a certificate, like an evidence that you can potentially give to the employer, and you can also attach with your visa to show them that you have met the eligibility requirements or the educational requirements. All right, now when you are applying for a visa, a skilled worker visa in particular, you will need to provide evidence for the standard of your English. So you're meant to have at least a good understanding of English. Okay, and most of the time the Home Office in the UK will ask you to provide evidence of your standard of English. And one way that you can do this is that you can go to the UK ENIC website and you can use their Visa and Nationality Service. And their Visa and Nationality Service will allow you to receive evidence whereby they will assess your English language, and they'll be able to provide you with some paper evidence that shows that yes, indeed, you meet the English standards. Okay, and this is very, very important, because if you don't do this, you may not meet the eligibility criteria for a job or even for the skilled worker visa if you are to receive a job offer. All right, so it's very, very important that you do this before you even look for work, before you even apply for a visa. All right, so now I'm going to talk to you about how to actually find a job in the UK. Okay, and please forgive me for the numbers. I've made a bit of error with like the numerical numbers. As you can see, it says 2 here and it's going to say 1 here, but it's not 1. All right, but this is what you have to do if you want to look for work in the UK. So the first thing I tell people to do is to look at the Home Office Register of Licensed Sponsors. Now, many people will not tell you this. Okay, this is something that I have gotten through experience and through knowledge. Okay, what I want you to do is that if you're looking for work in the UK, search on Google Home Office Register of Licensed Sponsors, and this is a very, very big key for you. All right, because what the Home Office Register of Licensed Sponsor is it is a public register, okay, that is available to everybody in the public. But what it will do is it will give you insight into all the companies and organizations in the UK which hold a valid sponsorship license. Okay, and it is this valid sponsorship license, okay, which gives these companies and these organizations the permission to actually employ international workers under a skilled worker visa or any other work visa. All right, These companies on this register are also known as approved employers, or they're also known as sponsors, because it is through these companies that you can actually be sponsored to come to the UK, to stay in the UK, and to work in the UK. All right. So the Home Office have actually provided a list of organizations and companies that have the rights and have the permission to actually employ international people, okay, into their company. So this is very, very important. All right. And this register is very, very important for you, okay, especially because it makes it easy for you to some extent to actually find a company that can actually sponsor you for a visa, okay? And these companies may be advertising specific jobs, specific positions that you know that if you are to apply for it today, this company, this organization could potentially give you the permission to work for their company, and they can provide you with a certificate of sponsorship, which you would need to actually apply for a skilled worker visa, and then you'll be able to come to the UK. All right, so I'll explain that a bit more how it works, after you find a job in the UK, what you actually have to do. But the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go on Google, and I will do a demonstration of this, so do not worry. But go on Google if you're really desperate. Go on Google and just search Home Office Register of Licensed Sponsors, and you will see a list of all the organizations and companies that could potentially sponsor you to work in the UK. Now, what I want you to know is that there are over 32,000 organizations and companies on that list. And what this means for you is that there are many companies and organizations that could potentially sponsor you if you was to apply for a job in the UK with the right qualifications. All right, so that's good news. Now, I want to show you basically how to understand the Home Office Register of Licensed Sponsors. So when you go on Google and you search the Home Office Register of Licensed Sponsors, and I will also provide a link in the description below as well, so you can easily access it. There are going to be four things that you're going to see. So the first thing you're going to see is you're going to see the organization's full name and address. You're going to see the location and the specific region of that organization or that company. So in simple terms, where that company or where that organization is actually based in the UK. So it might be London, it might be Manchester, it might be Bristol. That will all be there. It will also show you the visa routes, okay, the visa routes that the company or the organization is permitted to sponsor. So some organizations can only sponsor you if you are to apply for a skilled worker visa or for a scale up visa, but it'll be very, very clear as to which visa route they can sponsor. So therefore, what that means for you is that if you look at that company's website and they are advertising for work, and you are to apply for a job there, and you are to be successful, you know that you can only apply for a skilled worker visa, because that is the only visa route that particular company is permitted to sponsor for somebody. All right, so they give you that information as well, and they also tell you the type and the rating of that particular sponsor as well. All right. So what I want you to know is that there are two types of ratings you're gonna see. You're either gonna see an A rating or a B rating. Okay. Now, when a company or organization actually applies for a sponsorship license, which gives them the permission to actually sponsor a person internationally to actually work for their company, they are automatically rated an A. All right. And when a company is rated an A, they have the right to be able to provide a certificate of sponsorship to you to actually hire you and to actually bring you to the UK or help you to come to the UK to actually work for them. All right. So that's for A types of organizations or companies. However, an organization or company can also be downgraded to a B rating. Okay, and they can be downgraded to a B rating when this is when the Home Office provides them with a penalty, okay, because maybe that company organization has breached something, something in terms of their rules, okay, of being able to sponsor somebody. They might have breached a specific rule that the Home Office has discovered. And what they do is that they downgrade them to a B rating. And with companies or organizations that are at a B rating, they cannot actually offer a certificate of sponsorship. They cannot actually sponsor you to come to the UK because they're at a B rating. So when you're looking at the register of licensed sponsors, only focus on all the organizations and companies that have an A rating, because these are the only companies or organizations that could actually sponsor you. All right. Now, when you now or when or now when you have access to the register of licensed sponsors, all right, this is just some recommendations I want to give you. So what you have to do is that when you find the licensed sponsors list on Google, okay, and I will provide a link in the description below. What I want you to do is I want you to click on that link and I want you to just look through the list. Okay. And what I want you to do is I want you to find out more about that company. So you're going to have a whole list. It's a very, very long list. As I said, there's around 35,000 organizations and companies on there. All right. So if you look on that list, there's going to be a lot on there. Okay. And they'll also provide you with a spreadsheet as well, because what is online, they have limited it, but they also provide you with a spreadsheet. So you have all the companies on there. All right. So when you look at that list, what I want you to do is I want you to basically copy the company, go to Google, search for the company on Google, try and find their website, try and see whether they are advertising, okay, on their website. See if they're advertising. If they are advertising, look at what they are looking for in terms of the job that they are advertising for. See whether you meet the eligibility requirements, whether you have the qualifications and the skills they're looking for, and then use your CV and your cover letter to actually apply for the job. All right. So that's all you have to do really when you have this register of licensed sponsors. Just research each company that you're potentially interested in, see if they're advertising, and then apply for jobs. Okay. And if you are successful, okay, and if you meet all of the requirements that that company is looking for, then they will employ you, and then they will provide you a certificate of sponsorship. And then it is that certificate of sponsorship that you have to, with that certificate of sponsorship, you have to attach that with your skilled worker visa. And with that certificate of sponsorship, the company will also provide you with a reference number, a unique reference number, which you will have to use to actually apply for your skilled worker visa as well. But I'm going to explain this in more detail. But that's how somebody's path may look like if they go through this route of looking through the register of licensed sponsor. Okay, it could be very easy for you as long as you meet the requirements, okay, as long as you do all the things that I've told you to do initially as well. Now, this is the link that I'm going to provide to you in the description section below. All right, the next thing that you have to be aware of is something known as a new points immigration system. Okay, so the UK government in January 2021, they brought into force a new points immigration system. And what this new points immigration system basically is it is basically saying that if you apply for a skilled worker visa, you have to qualify for it. And you can only qualify for it if you acquire 70 points. And how they have quantified these 70 points is they have said, okay, so these are the requirements. Okay, so they said you have to at least meet 3 mandatory requirements, okay, before you can even apply for a skilled worker visa. And that is number 1, you must have an offer of a job with a sponsored employer. So if you go through that that licensed sponsor register that I just spoke to you about, you should know that all of those companies are sponsored employers. All of those companies are able to sponsor you to actually come to the UK to work. So what they are saying here is that they're saying that you must have an offer of a job with one of those companies. And if you have an offer of a job with one of those companies, you will automatically be given 20 points. Okay. And then they said that the second requirement they said is, they said, okay, you must then have or you must then receive a job offer that is at an appropriate skill level. And that appropriate skill level is basically saying that the job has to either be a graduate level job or an A level job. Okay, and what that means is basically what that employer is looking for. There's some work in the UK that they specifically ask for people to have university degrees. There are some work or some jobs in the UK where they specifically ask for A level qualifications, and that is it. That is enough. But if the job that you have received requires either a degree or requires either an A level standard qualification, which is basically college level qualification, or is the qualification that you need for you to get into university in your country, then you will automatically be given 20 points. And then the third requirement they said that you have to meet is that if you speak English to the required level, so they can know that you speak English to the required level if you are able to acquire some form of evidence. And I spoke to you about this earlier with the UK ENIC, okay, where I said that they can provide you with evidence of your English level. Okay, and if you meet that, you get 10 points. So altogether, that is 50 points, but you need 70 points to actually qualify for the skilled worker visa. So what do you do? Now, what the UK government has done and what the Home Office have done is that they have provided other requirements that you can actually meet to get those extra 20 points. All right. And what they have said is that they have said that if you have applied for a job and you have been successful, okay, they said that if the salary is between 23,000 23,000 to 25,599, then if the job is between that threshold of pay, then you will automatically be given 10 points. Okay. Now, if you meet the three requirements that I spoke to you about here, okay, and you are to add 10 points, you're only going to get 60 points. You will not qualify for the visa. So what you have to do is you have to aim to find a job that has a salary between 25,600 and above, okay? Because if you find a job with a salary of 25,600 or above, you will be given 20 points. Okay, and then what happens is that if you meet these mandatory requirements, okay, which is 50 points, and you're able to get the 20 points here, that will give you 70 points, and that means you will qualify. Aside from that, if you find a job that is of shortage in the UK, so I will speak to you about that. I'll talk to you about the jobs in which are at shortage in the UK. Okay, if you apply for a job that there's a shortage in the UK for, you could automatically also get 20 points, and that will also qualify you for a skilled worker visa. All right. So it's really, really important that you understand this. All right, because if you find a job, you apply for a job, you're successful, and then the companies to provide you with a certificate of sponsorship and a reference number to then apply for your skilled worker visa, but then you do not meet the requirements for the skilled worker visa, then you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in a problem, because it means that you're halfway through, and it's just this part that has made it basically hard for you to then cross over. All right, so make sure that you understand this well. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. All right, something else that I want you to be aware of is that in the past, the UK used to provide work visas for low skilled professions or for temporary workers. But because the UK government has introduced this point-based immigration system, the UK has made a change, or has made a change in policy, and because of this change in policy, they no longer provide work visas for low-skilled professions or temporary workers. All right, so what that means for you is it means that you're gonna have to go through the skilled worker visa process, or you can go through any of the other work visas that I spoke to you about in the previous video. of how to move to Ghana, to the UK, the right way. All right, so the first thing that I encourage you to do is to also look at the UK shortage occupation list. All right. So the UK shortage occupation list is provided by a company known as the Migration Advisory Committee. Okay, they are the ones that have formulated this list. And what this list basically is this list shows all the roles identified by the UK government to be in short supply within the UK, within the UK's labour market. And with these jobs, what the government has done is that they have made the eligibility requirements a little bit more relaxed than how it normally is. All right. Now, with this UK shortest occupational list, it basically lists all the jobs in the UK that the UK is short of, or the UK really needs, because in the UK there are not enough workers to actually cover those specific jobs or careers. What does this mean for you? This is good for you because it means that if you look through the list and you see that the job that you're looking for is in that list and you're able to find a job within that particular job or within that particular list, then you can actually have a higher chance of actually being employed, because the UK is short of it. They do not have they do not have enough of these particular jobs. All right, so this is also good for you to look at as well, and I will provide the link in the description below. All right. Another thing that you have to be very, very aware of before you move from Africa to the UK, and before you even look for work, okay, before you even look for work, you have to be aware of something known as the eligible occupation codes for the skilled worker visa. Now, when you are searching for a job in the UK, you have to make sure that the job that you're actually looking for is actually eligible, okay, for a skilled worker visa. All right, because there are some jobs that you cannot actually apply for with a skilled worker visa. All right, so you have to make sure that you check, okay, and you can check this by looking at the government website for the list of occupational codes. Okay, and occupational codes basically in simple terms means work codes. All right, now, and what I want you to know is that all the jobs with an occupational code, okay, are eligible for a skilled worker visa. Okay, so all of the jobs with an occupational code are eligible for a skilled worker visa, and I will share that document as well with you in the description section below, and this is the link as well. All right, so you'll be able to see all of the jobs which you can potentially apply for that are eligible for the skilled worker visa. All right, now if you go onto that list, okay, of eligible occupational codes for skilled worker visa, but you are not sure that the job you want or the job you have found is eligible for a skilled worker visa, then you can just use this website that I have provided on the screen, and I will paste this in the description section below as well for you. All right. I also want to show you basically how to use a job board or an agency. Okay, so you can actually find work in the UK by using a job board or an agency. Okay, so when you are using a job board, and there are many job boards I'm going to share with you, okay, but if you're using a job board, you can search in that job board tier 2 sponsorship, and what it will do is going to show you all the companies that are able to provide you with sponsorship, okay, with work sponsorship. All right, and so that makes it a bit easier for you, okay, to find the jobs that you could potentially be eligible for, especially if you're abroad and you want to come to the UK. If you're in Africa, you want to come to the UK, you have to look for work that work from companies that can sponsor you. However, if you make good use of the register, okay, of licensed sponsors, then that will make it even easier for you, okay, because you will definitely know that that company, that employer can sponsor you because they have a license to sponsor you. But if you're using a job board, all right, you can just search for Tier 2 sponsorship, and then you can search for it like that, or you can search Tier 2 sponsorship and then search the career you're looking for. Make sure that the career you're looking for has an occupational code, because that occupational code will ensure that you are eligible for a skilled worker visa. All right, so I want to talk to you about some of the job boards that you can actually use, all right, to actually look for work and actually apply for work in the UK. So the 5 most common job boards are Reed, Indeed, CV Library, Edu Jobs, if you look for education jobs, and LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is very, very popular. Indeed, Reed, CV Library are very, very popular job boards. All right. So I will show you how to actually complete a search, okay, especially if you're in Africa, you want to look for a job in the UK, you want to apply for a job in the UK. I'm going to show you in this video how to actually look for work on these job boards. All right, and they're all very, very similar. So I'll just give you an example, then you can copy that same example for all the other ones as well. All right. I also want to show you, I'm also going to show you, and I also want to tell you how to actually find work or to find jobs through agencies in the UK. So if you search on Google, okay, UK agencies for international, and then you type the career that you're looking for, okay, you will be able to see a list of agencies in the UK that are helping people in Africa come to the UK to work, okay, and they will help you through the whole process, all right, from getting a visa to, they will help you through everything, all right. So I will also show you this live and colored, how to go about it, what to do, all right. But what I want you to know is, I just want you to make sure that the job that you're looking for has an occupational code that is eligible for the skilled worker visa. This is very, very important, okay? So that even when you apply for the job, you're successful for the job, at least you know that that job for sure, you can apply for a skilled worker visa. All right, so all these steps that I'm showing you, you must follow them one by one so that you don't make any mistakes during the process, okay? Now, I'm going to give you a live demonstration of how to complete a job search on a UK job board. And also, if you're looking for work in the UK, you can also use the agencies method as well. I'm going to do a live demonstration right now to show you as well. So I'm going to be showing you how to look for jobs on the job board, and also how to look for jobs through agencies, or how to actually find agencies in the UK who could potentially sponsor you. So first of all, we're going to start with a job board. So I listed 5 job boards, and I listed Indeed, CV Library, LinkedIn, Edu Jobs, Total Jobs. All right, there's so many job boards, so many more that I have not even mentioned, but the ones that I have mentioned are the most popular. All right, so I'm going to show you how to actually look for a job on one of the job boards, and then you just replicate the same process with all the other ones. All the job boards, you have to make an account before you can even apply for them. So the first thing I want you to do is, I want you to go onto a web browser and just type www.google.co.uk. If this comes up, read it. I've seen it so many times, so I just accept it automatically. So in the search bar here, I'm going to use the Indeed job board. I think that's very, very popular. Just type Indeed in Google right here. The first one that comes up in the search bar, so that will be the uk.indeed.com. And I want you to just be aware that Indeed actually have a US version as well. So if you want to be very sure, always make sure that it says UK at the front of Indeed, for you to know that it is the UK Indeed version. All right, so click on the first one here, and this is the Indeed homepage. So what you have to do is that if you do not have an account, you have to click on upload your CV here. So if you click on upload your CV here, it's going to basically tell you to register. Okay, it's going to say register. So you can literally register or create an account through your Google account, through Apple if you have an iPhone or an Apple device, and also through Facebook. Or you can just use your email address here, and then when you click on continue, it will take you to set up your own password, and then you have an account. All right, so let's click on Indeed, this icon here, just to go back to the homepage. I just want to show you something. All right, but do make an account. When you make an account, it'll ask you to upload your CV. Make sure you do that, and then you are free to go. You are free to apply. All right, but it's very, very simple. But when it comes to this part of actually looking for the job, what I told you in the suggestions, I said just type prior to sponsorship, and then what that will do is that will show you all of the employers that could potentially sponsor you to work in the UK. And then the location, what you can do is that if you already know specific cities in the UK that you would love to work in, you can put that city in. Or you can just put United Kingdom here, so that is everywhere. Or you can put the center of the UK, which is London. Okay, so but I'm going to just put United Kingdom because I want it to be very broad. All right, so just search tied to sponsorship in the what box, and with the where, just type United Kingdom. Okay, and then press find jobs. All right, so when you click on find jobs, a list of all the jobs in that match what I've searched for, which was tied to sponsorship, come up. So you look through all the jobs and you see which one may be of interest to you. So with this one, I'm seeing a lot of care work. All right, so if you want to come to the UK to be a carer, there's a lot of opportunity here for you. All right, now what you have to do is you have to make sure that you read the job very carefully. So I've clicked on this one, chef care home, for example, and when I click on this will come up right here. And then when I scroll down, it will tell me the salary, like the salary range. That's how much they pay you per an hour. It will tell me whether it's full-time, part-time, or permanent. This one is full-time and permanent. Okay, but it can be part-time and permanent as well. And then when you scroll down, it tells you a bit about the employer's benefits, like what they're going to offer you. And when you scroll down as well, it tells you the reference number, and it also tells you, this employer is telling you clearly, please note, we do not offer sponsorship for this role. Okay, which means that some companies will provide sponsorship for this role. All right, so just make sure you read the job description, which this is, very, very carefully. So if you scroll down again, click on this one, for example, domiciliary care worker as well. You scroll down, you scroll down, you scroll down. All right, look at this. It says, when you read this job description, it says you must already be living in the UK and require tier 2 sponsorship and happy to relocate if needs be. Okay, this is quite, should I say, mixed, because they're saying that you must already be living in the UK and you must require tier 2 sponsorship. But if you need a tier 2 sponsorship, you wouldn't be in the UK. All right, so it's kind of confusing, so I'm going to skip that for now. But if you just scroll down, you'll be able to find different jobs. All right, so if you click on this one, support worker, this is also in care. All right, and you scroll down. All right, just scroll down, read it. This one says full-time roles on days and nights, tier 2 sponsorship provided. All right, so they're actually able to sponsor you to work as a support worker in supported living. All right, and this is the salary, and this is the location, Northampton. All right, in the UK. So when you scroll down, you just look for the jobs. As you can see, a lot of them are support worker, but I'm also seeing hotel manager, receptionist, housekeeping, visa sponsorship available, and this is in Birmingham. All right, so when you scroll down, you read the information. This is what they're looking for qualification wise. You need to have worked in a hotel, but just take this as guides. Even if you have some kind of experience, even if it's just 1 year experience, you should still apply. Okay, even if you have 6 months, still apply. You never know. All right, but this one says, look, a 2-star hotel near Birmingham Airport and NEC has an impressive vacancy for the following position: hotel manager, visa sponsorship available to deserving candidate if required. All right, and then they also highlight the duties as well of the job, what you're expected of you, what you have to do for the job. They tell you some of the benefits, the schedule. So this is a very good job if you're not interested in care. you can become a hotel manager. This is the pay, £6.70 to £12.52 an hour. It's a permanent job, all right, and is in Birmingham. All right, so just look through the whole list. I can't go through everything, but if you look through the list, you're going to see so many jobs. All right, so if you look at this one, recruitment consultant, that's an E1. The salary is between 12,000 and 24,000 a year. All right, so if you scroll down, it will tell you, as a recruitment consultant, you are the vital link between clients and candidates. The role is demanding and diverse. It involves tier 2 sponsorship available. All right, so they can actually sponsor you. Now, the old name for skilled worker visa used to be tier 2 visa, but they have changed the skilled worker visa. All right, so that has come up. They can sponsor you for work. All right, so just look, there's a lot of jobs out there, in the UK, of companies willing to sponsor you. All right, so just look, and then all you have to do, for example, if I'm interested in this one and I'm in Ghana, all right, and just make sure you have made an account, because if I haven't made an account, I can't actually apply for the job. So if I'm interested in this job, for example, it said tier 2 sponsorship available. Just click on apply now here. And what it's done is open the new browser for me, but it says I have to log in. All right. So if I log in, let me just log in just to show you something. Okay. Let me. What I would suggest to you, I can do a video showing you how to register on here. Okay, and how to set up and stuff. But all you have to do is register, email address, password. When you click on apply, all it's going to do is going to ask you to attach your CV or your resume and to attach your cover letter. So just make sure you do that, and then at the very end it will just say apply. So you just confirm your decision to apply. That is it. Then they will send you an email confirmation telling you that you have applied for the job. All right. So there's so many jobs all around the UK that you can apply for. All right. So another job board I want to go to as well is called LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very popular as well. So I want to show you that very quickly. If you just type google.co.uk at the top right here, and then you just type LinkedIn here. Just type LinkedIn. All right. This means I made an error of the spelling, I think. Okay, but they have put LinkedIn jobs. I think it's better just to put LinkedIn. Don't put LinkedIn job, just put LinkedIn by itself. And then the first one that comes up, uk.linkedin.com. That's the website. So it says 750 million members. So you can see there's a lot of opportunity there. If you click on the first one here, all right, accept. All right, so this is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, you have to also make an account. So just click on join now here, and then they're going to ask you for your email address, your password. As you can see here, just use your email address, password, and join LinkedIn. All right, you will not regret it. Trust me, it's a really good website. If I just go back to the home page now, just click on back. You can basically search for a job. So on LinkedIn is a website where you can connect with many professional people. You can even message the professionals. You can find a lot of people on LinkedIn that are in very professional positions, and you can search for jobs on there. You can also learn new skills as well. Or you can find somebody that you know who you have worked with in a professional manner. You can find a lot of professionals on here. So it's a really good website to consider. So if you click on search for a job here, all right, you can actually search for jobs. So you can search for jobs without an account, but for you to apply for the job, you need to have an account. All right, that's just my advice to you. So just type in here, this box here, tier 2 sponsorship. Okay, and then here, just type United Kingdom. Especially if you're not sure about where in particular you would like to work, just put United Kingdom, and then just type search. Okay, good. So it's searched for me. All right, so on this side right here, on the left hand side right here, it's gonna be showing you all of the jobs that they have available, okay, whereby they can actually sponsor you, all right, to actually come to the UK on a skilled worker visa. So if I click on the first one, for example, this is permanent role consultant, A&E, and this is in Wales. Alright, so it seems like they have blocked me from, okay, I thought they blocked me from seeing it because I haven't signed in, but you should be able to see it like this on your screen. Alright, so this is for somebody who wants to get into healthcare. They're looking for consultants, permanent role. And this is only for 12 months contract. But as you can see here, very, very clearly in the title above, it says offering sponsorship. Okay, so they're able to offer tier 2 visas for those who are in need. Alright, so they are able to sponsor you. And if you scroll down as well, there's just other more jobs available for you. So you just look through everything and see which ones take your interest, and then you can apply for those ones. Alright, so there's a lot of jobs available whereby they are willing to actually sponsor you. Alright, so just bear that in mind. So that's LinkedIn. So I looked at LinkedIn and Indeed. If you go on the other job boards that I've spoken to you about, you just use the same process. You register, and then there will always be a search function at the top where it'll tell you the job that you're looking for and the location. Always put tier 2 sponsorship, and then you press search, and then it will locate all the companies automatically that will be able to sponsor you. You can also put here skilled worker visa as well, and then press search, and you'll be able to also see more places whereby they can actually sponsor you to work in the UK. Okay, so just bear that in mind as well. Okay, so now I want to show you how to find agencies that can help you as well to move internationally from Africa to the UK. So I told you that you have to search for something in the search bar. Okay, so let me just get that. Alright, so just make sure you're on Google, and then you just search UK agencies or international. And I then said, so you type UK agencies for international, and you just type the career you're looking for. Alright, so for example, if you're coming to the UK, or you want to come to the UK, but you want to work in a specific job, okay, you must make sure that it has a occupational code, okay, that is eligible for the skilled worker visa. I just want to put that out there once again. But if it is on there, if that job you're looking for does have an occupational code, then you know that you'll be eligible for a skilled worker visa. So I know just from memory that there are many jobs that are on the occupational, that have an occupational code, but I'm going to put, just for example purpose, I'm going to put nurses. Okay, so imagine that I want to come to the UK as a nurse. Alright, so UK agencies for international nurses. Just click on search, and then what happens is that a lot of agencies come up for me. Alright, so if I scroll down, they even have some for US as well. So I just have to look through all of it. So if I click on this one, I like this one. It says, the description says, the Flame Lily is the top rated international recruitment agency in the UK. So it has various job openings for international doctors or nurses. Alright, so if I click on this one, you can see, come on website, they will tell you a bit about themselves, just accept your cookies, tell you what they do. They say that they recruit these types of people. They recruit allied professionals, doctors, IT technicians and specialists, and also nurses. Okay, so if you look at this one, learn more about international nurses recruitment outside EU and EEA. So what I tell people to always do is just look at the instructions very carefully, because they are very, very clear in what they say. Okay, so they said if you're a nurse, okay, but you're outside of the EU or the European Union. So if you're outside of basically if you're in Africa, can be in Africa, what you have. This tells you what you should do step by step. If you're a nurse as well and you're outside of the EU, so you're in Africa or in any other country outside of Europe, they just said, okay, download the application form, fill the application form, save the file, email the form to internationalrecruit@theflamelady.co.uk. Okay? And when you scroll down, they just show you other opportunities they have available. So, for example, I may be interested in nursing, I may be interested in IT technician. So, if I click on IT technician and specialist, it just goes back to the top. If I click on menu, all right, and then I click on candidates, okay, so you can see that I believe that they are more, even though they do focus on IT, you can say that there's a bigger focus on healthcare for them. If I click on current vacancies or international recruitment, that would be better. Click on that one for now. This takes you back to the first page. All right. So if you want more information from them, know the vacancies that they have available and how they can help you, just click. If you click on that menu icon, there is a contact us button. Or what you can also do is you can contact them via their email here as well to find out more information from them. But if I go back, there are so many that I could click on here. So if that one is not really meeting my needs, there's other ones that I can find, like this one, the UK's leading international recruitment agency. All right, so click on that one, for example. There's another one here. All right, there are so many agencies that can help you to locate to the UK with a sponsorship, right? So just do your research, okay, and do your research carefully, and then you should definitely be able to find an agency. So this one is International Nurse Recruitment. Click on that, and then it will take you to who they recruit, even prepare you the recruitment process. They prepare for the interview, also help you with visa process, flight bookings, meet and greet, like so much, you know. So agencies are also a very, very good place to look for work and get the help you need to actually relocate to the UK. If, for example, you're not interested in nursing, but maybe you're interested in driving, click on just type driver, okay, and then just type search. All right. So if you look at this, it says Driveline UK supplies permanent and temporary drivers in the UK, Europe, and overseas. Okay, they support all types of vehicles from LGV to cars and more. So click on this. Okay, so you'll be able to also look for work here. And with this particular one, even though they do help people who are overseas, this one may require you to actually contact the agency and find out whether they can actually sponsor you internationally as well. Okay, that's how you go about the agencies part of things. So now I want to just show you all the documents that I spoke to you about throughout the video as well, live and colored, so you can see it for yourself. All right, so just bear with me. Let me get the links. All right, so let me just close this tab. Okay, so the first website I want to that I showed you throughout the video was the ENIC. Alright, so this is the web link for ENIC, and I will leave all of these links in the description section below. But this is ENIC, this is the organization that actually evaluates your qualification to see whether it is to UK standard. And I spoke to you about the statement of comparability here, and this is something that you should consider doing because that is how they actually evaluate your qualification. You're gonna have to pay a small fee to actually check your qualification, but you can also call them as well. They may be able to tell something over the phone as well. All right, so that's the enic.org.uk. The next website I spoke to you about was the government website whereby they keep the register of licensed sponsors. So this is how it looks like. So this is a list of all the organizations who have a license to be able to sponsor people like you to come to the UK and work. So when you come on this web link, just click on view online, or you can actually download an Excel document But if I click on view online just to show you how it looks like and how it will look like, it will bring you to this page, and then it will just show you the organization that has a license, where they are located, the town, the county they're located in. It'll tell you whether they are an A rating, and it'll tell you which kind of visa they can sponsor. All right, so this particular organization can sponsor both skilled worker and charity worker. All right, so if you're coming to the UK as a charity worker, they can also sponsor you. And if you're coming to the UK for work, they can also sponsor you. And they can only sponsor you, of course, if you're going to work with them. Okay, so these are companies, organizations that can sponsor you. You do apply for their company and they do have vacancies available. Right. So as I was saying in the video, just make sure you only look at the companies that have an A rating, and just look through all the companies one by one. Try and copy them, like copy it, and then copy the company's name, and then put it in Google. Okay, and then check their website, check if they have any vacancies available, and apply through them. All right, because they have the license to be able to sponsor you to work. All right, so the list is quite long. I can't go through everything, but just you take your time, go through each of the ones that draw your attention. As you can see, there are so many. So just take your time and go through them one by one and see if you can find any work through them as well. All right, the next link I also spoke to you about was looking at the jobs which are at shortage in the UK, and this is the web link. This will also be provided in the description section below. All right, so if you scroll down, you're going to come across a document. Just click on this and it comes to this page, and then when you scroll down, you're going to see all of the jobs where there is a shortage in the UK. So basically all the jobs that they really need. Just look down, like scroll down, you will see all the jobs, and you'll also be able to see their individual occupational code as well. So what that means is it means that all of these jobs are eligible for a skilled worker visa. All right, that means you are safe. Okay, so if you find any job in any of these industries and you're able to find a licensed sponsor who will be an employer who has a license to sponsor you, then you are good to go. All right, so even artists, a short of artists in the UK. If you're an artist, if you're a dancer, if you're a choreographer, they have a shortage here. They need people. All right, if you look at graphic design, welding, hair workers, there's a lot of shortage. All right, so just look through it and just identify if there's any of these jobs that you could potentially do. You have the qualifications to do. Now, the next website I was talking to you about was the ONS Digital website, and this website is really good if maybe you're trying to apply for a job, but you cannot actually find your job on this particular list, because this list also tells you the occupational code, which means that the job is eligible for a skilled worker visa. But if you're looking for a job and you're not sure whether it has an occupational code, you can just search for the job here that you're applying for, search for it, and then you can then look at this website with the jobs which are shortage and which have the occupational code, and see whether that job is also there. So for example, if I type graphic designer, for example, and I click on search here, and I'm gonna just click on, so when you click on it, it will give you a description of what the job is. So like this one, it says graphic designer. Graphic designers use illustrative, sound, visual, and multimedia techniques to convey a message for information. So that's what I'm looking for example purposes. And the occupational code will be here, 3421. So what I do is, and I then go back to this website with the shortage, but it also has the occupational code, and I just look for that number on the side here. All right, if I scroll down, I ask myself, okay, do they have this number? Do they have this number? So if I scroll up, the number that I was looking for had a 2. Click on up again. So if I go back quickly, it's 3421. Okay, so if I scroll down, I look for that number to see if that number is on the list. 3421, 3421. So it's here. Yeah. So that means yes, this graphic designer job, they do it will enable me to actually apply for a skilled worker visa, and there's also a shortage as well. So that's fantastic. All right, that means that there's opportunity for people who are also graphic designers to also come into the UK as well. Okay, so if I move from that website, and the last website I spoke to you about was the occupational codes as well, which was also on the shortage website as well. But this is the official website for you to see the occupational codes that will make you eligible for a skilled worker visa. So you just scroll down. These are all the jobs that you can potentially apply for with a skilled worker visa, which is really good. Okay, but one thing I want you to bear in mind is the points system that the government has introduced. If the job is of shortage in the UK, it can actually give you points. So try and look at the jobs which are at shortage as well, because that may increase your chances of also coming to the UK. All right, so that's the demonstration for now. So I'll see you in the video. There's more information I'm going to share with you. All right. So just follow along with me step by step. Okay, so what do you do once you have successfully received a job offer in the UK through a sponsor, and that sponsor is the employer? Okay, what do you do? Because you might say, okay, now I've got a job offer, I've applied for the job, I've done what Occupational UK told me to do, I've now got a job. What must I now do? Now, first of all, I want to say congratulations. Okay, congratulations to finding a job. Congratulations to finding finding an approved employer, or finding a sponsor, okay, a licensed sponsor that has actually recruited you to come to the UK to work for them. That is a very, very big accomplishment. All right, but you're probably wondering what next. Now I'm going to tell you what next. All right. So what you have to do once you receive a job offer from an employer in the UK, what you must do is you must ask that employer to provide you with a certificate of sponsorship. Now, if the employer is a grade A rating, they will do this automatically. Okay, because they have followed the process correctly, or they are following the process correctly. All right. So what you have to do, first thing you have to do once you get a job offer in the UK, is that you must ask the employer to provide you with a certificate of sponsorship. After that, you must also ask them for a unique reference number. Okay, so they should provide you with a certificate of sponsorship and a unique reference number, which you will have to use for yourself when you are applying for your skilled worker visa. Okay, and you must make sure that once you have received the job, that you apply for your skilled worker visa within 3 months. Okay, within 3 months of receiving that specific job offer. Okay, because now you have a licensed sponsor, and that licensed sponsor is your employer. All right, so that's what you have to do once you receive a job offer. All right, so what should you be expecting from your employer, who is your licensed sponsor? What should you actually be expecting from them? Because yes, now you have gotten a job, you've got a job offer, you have applied for your visa, and now you're preparing yourselves to come to the UK. But what should you actually expect? Okay, what you should expect is that most employers, okay, who are your sponsors, what they tend to do is that they tend to provide the employer, who will be you, or the employee, who will be you. They will provide you with maintenance. Okay, so basically they'll provide you with some help to maintain yourself as you are new to the UK. Every company, every organization will work a bit differently. Some may decide to cover your transportation. Some may decide to help you with your residence and stuff like that. Every employer, the help that they will provide you will be different in the first month. All right, but what you should do is that you can ask the employer that has offered you the job offer what they will provide you maintenance wise, or what they will provide you for you coming to the UK for the very first time, or even again if you are. All right, so they should every employer should provide you with maintenance for the first month of employment, and what this maintenance looks like may be different for every single employer. All right. So what are some of the benefits of applying for a skilled worker visa? One of the main benefits of applying for a skilled worker visa, other than being able to come to the UK and live in a new country, is that with the skilled worker visa, if you have family in Africa, like an immediate family, maybe you're married, you have children, and you want them to also come to the UK with you, you can actually speak to the employer who is your licensed sponsor, and you can actually arrange to actually bring your family with you as well, so that you are all together in the UK. But make sure you speak to the employer about that, because it is allowed, it is legal. All right. So now you've gotten a job offer. Now you have applied for your visa. You are now preparing to come to the UK. So what else should you prepare for? Okay, what else should you prepare for? Now, when you're coming to the UK specifically for work, there's a lot of things, other things that you have to also prepare for. Okay, aside from going through this process that I've spoken to you about step by step, there are also other things you have to prepare for. Okay, so the three things that I feel like you have to prepare for most is you have to know where to stay. If the employer that you're working for's maintenance is not in terms of helping you to find where to stay and stuff like that. Maybe their maintenance might be travel, for example. They might be helping you with your travel costs. That might be their maintenance. Okay. So if your employer is not really helping you with knowing where to stay, you have to know where you're going to stay. You have to have an understanding of the environment that you're coming to be within. Okay. You have to familiarize yourself with the UK system. How does the UK work? How does the UK operate? You have to also know about the UK culture and also about the rules. Okay, the rules in the UK as well. Now, I'm going to be producing a lot of videos. I'm going to be creating a lot of videos about where to stay. So, for example, if you're in the UK for the very first time, where should you stay? I'm going to be talking to you about that. There's a lot of places that you can stay temporarily, but if you're looking for somewhere to stay permanently, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the UK system, how the UK works, okay, as well. I'm going to be producing some videos on that as well. And I'm going to be giving you some insight into the UK culture. How is it living in the UK? What are the realities of living in the UK? How is UK living like? I'm going to be producing videos on that as well. All right. So please let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. And all I'm asking is, I'm just asking that you will like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will endeavor to answer you back. All right. And if there's anything that you wasn't really clear about, just let me know. But I hope that this video has brought a lot of value to you. Okay. And I hope that you can get started with the process as soon as possible. Okay. So just rewatch this video if you can. Listen to it again, write notes step by step, okay, and follow the process. All right, you can make it and you can come here legally and properly. All right, so see you in the very next video.